It's getting better. It's getting better. Since you've been mine.
And now, 1160 AM KBDT proudly presents Life Solutions, coaching, counseling, naturopathic medicine, insights for successful living, and getting better with Ann Beal.
Welcome to the show today. I have Shelby Vaughan on today. I don't know if you know who she is, but she is an Olympic athlete, 2016 track and field team member, Discus.
Yes.
And welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, did you hear the new song, Getting Better All the Time?
Yes.
So I know for you, you want to get better.
Of course, yes.
So even though you went to the Olympics, you want to go back and win, I'm just going to assume gold?
I mean, I'd love to. Realistically, right now, top eight would be my main goal right now.
So last time, were you in the top 5?
At the Olympics, no, I got 29th.
You got 29.
But I definitely could have done better.
Yeah.
So that's the goal, is just do better.
Get better.
Get better.
Do better. So the top 8 would be quite an improvement for you, right?
Yes.
Being the top 8. Okay. So right now, the reason I wanted to have you on is you are our own. You're in the Metroplex. You actually live in Azle.
I do. Born
and
raised.
You are 24 years old.
24.
And we also, last week in the celebrity golf tournament, met Michelle Carter.
Oh, yeah.
Now, she's the gold medalist for discus.
Shot put.
Shot put.
Yeah.
You're discus.
I'm discus.
Yeah, you're discus. Let me take that back. And so you guys bonded because you know each other already.
I've known Michelle Carter for quite a while. We, I think, first officially met when I was in high school, and then I made my first team with her in 2015.
So you are friends.
We're friends.
Friends.
I
That's
hope so.
exciting. Well, okay. So for you, you have preparation needs. You're preparing for the 2020 Olympics.
Yes, I am.
Unfortunately, you said earlier today that you don't find out if you made it till a month before.
Right.
So do you spend all of this time training now?
Yes, you start training. I mean, well, I've kind of started training when I was in high school. I missed making that team at 17 by one place.
Yes.
And so after that, I was determined to make the next team, which I did. So I've technically been training for a while now. And I'm not really done. So I'm just going to keep going until, either my body tells me or something else tells me that I need to stop throwing.
That's exciting. That's really exciting. It's exciting life. You're only 24.
Yes, I'm really young for the sport too.
You were the youngest, isn't that right? When you competed, you were the youngest on the track and field team or the discus team?
In the discus field.
So what were the ranges for the ages?
I'm not exactly sure, but I do know that,
How old were you?
I was 21.
21. That's very young then.
Yes. And so I don't know exactly the ages of everybody, but I know I can throw for quite a while. It doesn't take that hard of an impact on your body throwing the discus. I mean, it is hard, but it's a pretty soft sport.
What do you mean by soft?
Like you're not banging and hitting your joints and stuff. Like in volleyball, when I played volleyball, I'd come down so hard or I'd hit the floor, so your knees would always hurt and stuff. And then when you talk about a track and field sport, the long jump and triple jump, you're running full speed and you're jumping into a sand pit, or javelin when you're running full speed and then come to a complete stop. Those are hard on your body.
Yes, and that volleyball, you break a lot of things. Break a lot of fingers, you break a lot of ankles.
Yes,
you do. So you break a lot. So I could see it being soft.
Yeah.
And that makes it easier to last longer. So you could technically, because Michelle Carter is older. She's like 36 or something like that.
I think, 35 or 36. I'm not exactly sure.
So you could be doing this a long time. And I know you love it. It's a passion that you have.
Yes, I do love it so much. I've been doing it since 7th grade, and I think this year would be 12 years that I've been doing it.
So I had Shelby on before when my show was on iHeart, and I met you one day and you were so tall. Shelby's tall. She's 6'2"?
About 6'2", yeah.
Okay, I think she seems taller, but I'm like 5'4".
I honestly feel like I'm like 6'5" when I'm walking out in public, and then when I'm around other athletes, I feel short. Like out in the discus field at the Olympics, everybody told me I look short, and I'm like, that's new.
Well, you're not short, but I
No.
could see maybe if you're around 7 feet tall, 6'8",
Yeah.
but you were tall. So for me, it was like, whoa, and you had on your Olympic outfit. And so I didn't think you were Shelby Vaughan. I thought, gosh, she kind of looks like Shelby Vaughan, but Shelby Vaughan is not tall. And I had seen you on TV. And so I finally asked you, I said, okay, you kind of look like Shelby Vaughan, but Shelby Vaughan's not tall. I'm so sorry. So you're probably not.
Yeah.
And you go, no, I'm Shelby. I was like, oh my gosh, you're so tall, right? That is exciting. And the more I've gotten to know you, I love your passion for what you do, your passion for young girls to model for them and mentor them and help them train to be successful. Do you train them in discus, or do you train them in anything that they want to do as far as being stronger or faster? What do you work with them mostly on?
Mainly just technical stuff. I do volleyball as well, so not just throwing.
I thought so.
Yeah, so and I really could do any sport, to be honest. I love sports. I mean, women's sport. I don't really know anything about football. I'll throw that out there. So don't be coming to me for football advice. But yeah, I mainly right now it's just discus, but I do volleyball lessons, and then really I get a lot of messages on Instagram and Facebook from girls like you, and they are inspired or anything like that. So I just kind of try to keep in touch with them, and then they'll keep me updated with how their track meets and stuff go. And I just love it. I love keeping in touch, knowing how they're doing, and being any kind of motivation that I can. Because a lot of it's long distance. I mean, I don't get to see these girls every day or even once a week, once a month. I'll be lucky if I even get to meet them ever. And it really helps me too, and motivates me that I have all these young girls looking up to me. Like I have to keep doing what I'm doing and get better so that they can do that as well. I'm currently working with a girl from Oklahoma, and I mean, she inspired me. I broke the high school national record my
Yes.
senior year, and I saw so much potential in her when I just saw a video on Facebook that somebody shared, a mutual friend, I guess. So I added them on Facebook. I'm like, hey, if you're ever interested in meeting up, please let me know. Like, I set this goal, but goals are made to break. So if I could help be a part of that, I would love to. I mean, even if I'm not, that's awesome too. But I mean, I went through about 144 my sophomore year in high school, and she's like hitting 160s. Like she is going to be a crazy good thrower.
So is that meters or feet, or what is the
That's-
160?
That's feet.
That's what I thought,
160
feet.
Mhm.
So you were pretty blown away by how good she is at so young.
Oh, yes. I mean, 144 will get you into a good college, and that was me as a sophomore. 160 will, as a sophomore, I'm not even sure what she's going to be throwing as a senior. That'll get you into a D1 college easy.
Now Shelby went to Texas A&M.
I
She was
did.
in
Whoop.
Aggie.
I'm an Aggie.
And of course, through for them. You did not just discus then. What else did you do as well?
Well, this is my fun fact, everybody. I went on a full ride scholarship for volleyball, and then I walked on the track and field team where I threw shot put and threw the weight throw, and that is like a shot put that's heavier on a short chain for indoors, and then the hammer is what you throw outdoors, and it's a shot put on a longer chain, and you kind of spin around and throw it backwards. It's really hard to explain.
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah, so I did shot put, discus, hammer, and weight throw on the track team.
But you actually got your scholarship in volleyball.
Yes.
God, you had to be good. I did not know that.
I was, just powerful.
I played volleyball in college.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so I just didn't know that. Hey, no wonder I liked you. We got this whole bond thing going.
didn't
That's so
even know
cool.
it.
I bond with an Olympic athlete. So going to A&M, you did a variety of things, but definitely you had to finally choose.
Yes. Well, it wasn't necessarily something I knew beforehand that I was going to do. I knew the Olympics was my main goal, and I had gone in telling every college when I was getting recruited that for one, I have to play both sports. Like, if you won't let me play sports, I'm not going there. And then two, the Olympics is my main goal. And so A&M knew that, and they were pretty great with me whenever I decided to just focus on track my senior year. So my senior year, I did not play volleyball. I focused solely on track, mainly because I had a really bad injury my freshman year where I was actually told that I would never play sports again.
They were wrong.
They were very wrong. And then the next year, I came back and broke my personal record.
That is wonderful that you came back and did that. We are going to take a break, and we'll be right back to hear more about what are the needs that Shelby has and how can we follow her through her path preparing for the Olympics. Stay right here.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I went to have my blood test done a few weeks ago, and I met the doctor, and he was really encouraged by my progress, and I showed him what I was taking, and he started looking at all the ingredients, and he said, I'm really impressed with the shiitake mushroom. And he said, this stuff, it could clean out your arteries. And I'm like, oh, wow. He said, you may be onto something here. And he said, you just keep that up, and maybe you can start cutting back on your medication. And he says, you're helping your health by doing that. I'm like, whoa, endorsement by the doctor.
When you call, use discount code USA, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code USA.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
800-871-3291. 800-871-3291. Again, that's 800-871-3291.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-574-3549. That's 800-574-3549. Again, 800-574-3549.
I've got to admit, it's getting better, a little better, all the time.
If you'd like to get better, call Ann right now. 214-810-8255. 214-810-TALK. Now more with Ann Beal on 1160 AM KBDT.
Everybody, we are back. We were having fun during break. We are back with Shelby. Shelby was talking with someone who came in to say hi to her, to meet her, Mr. Pete Prasad, and he has the medical show before us, and he wanted to meet her, and he was so cute. Anyway, I kept saying, Pete, you can't stay. You can't stay. He's like, really? I'm like, nope. You got to go. So welcome back. And Shelby, we want to hear, because you're preparing, and one of the main things is expensive. It's expensive. You got to pay trainers. You got to pay sports therapists, sports doctors. And you are single, young. And I wanted you to let people know kind of what your needs are. And people in the Metroplex, if they can follow you as you go, and you have a donation thing set up, or they can help you if they would like. And then I'm going to have you back on at times so you can kind of update people how it's going with your trainers, how far you've gotten to get back to the Olympics.
Yeah. So the misconception everybody has is, as an Olympian, you make a lot of money. That's not true. I mean, maybe Usain Bolt, but it takes a while to get to that level. And unless you have the support that, I mean, a lot of athletes lose, and the great athletes end up not being able to continue training because they don't have the funds and support they need to become that Usain Bolt. And so, I mean, as a thrower especially, we're not as popular as the sprinters are, the long jumpers, so it's a lot harder for us. We're really trying, there's different things that the USA Track Association is putting into play. We have more TV time, still not as much as football, which I wish we did.
Yes.
And
Don't you wish?
I
That would
know.
be awesome.
But it's different, and it's hard to explain to people, because they just see as an Olympian, you're getting money from the US Association and stuff, and that's not really how it works. So I've been a professional athlete out of college for 2 years now. 2 years. So my first year, I was sponsored by Nike, and it was okay. It wasn't great. Gave me a little bit of money, but nothing that I could live off of.
Right.
And that's kind of what it is. I mean, throwing discus is a full-time job. And that's another thing that people don't really realize is you put in a lot of hours to be able to make it to the Olympics. And
how many hours in a day?
Ideally, it would really be all day.
That's what I thought, because I've seen you, and I know that you put it. So at the same time you trying to train, you're also having to work.
Mm-hmm.
And so, are you getting sleep?
Some nights. Most nights is a struggle. Mainly because there's just a lot on my mind. What I'm going to do next, how I'm going to pay for this, what am I going to do? Am I working tomorrow? Am I training? Will I be able to do both? Because a lot of people ask me, why don't I just do both? I mean, you did that in high school and college. You went to classes and then you practice. I'm like, it's not high school or college, you know? So ideally it would be wake up, train, or wake up, eat, train, take a break, eat, train, and then you'd be done, and then possibly another session at night. So really it's an all-day thing. I know whenever I was talking about moving to the Olympic Training Center, they had told me that it's literally you're here all day, and you might get like one day out of the week off.
And it helps being there, though. And I know for you, since you've been back, and it hadn't been that long, but since you've been back, it's so hard to keep up that pace yourself. So you're having to get trainers, and you're having to get people to help. And it's a little lonely, and that you had all these other athletes kind of pushing you and motivating you.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's very lonely. I had all my teammates, my coaches, and everything. I have people here and there, but it's not the same as going to practice every day with your same coach, your same teammates, and then pushing you at workouts and stuff. Now it's pretty much myself. I've joined some workout groups, but it's hard to go to those because there are only certain times out of the day when then I have to work in the factors of going to work or training, throwing the discus, because you can't throw the discus at night unless you have light, and that's really
That would be
nowhere.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for you, it's so funny because so you also go do Camp Gladiator, and she's not winded. It's like crazy. Like Camp Gladiator kicks my butt, if I have to say it. I mean,
Well,
for you, you're like, it's really not enough. It's not hard enough.
So I will say I do get winded, especially when we do the long distance stuff like jogging.
Oh, you do get winded.
Jogging is not my thing, but it's not long enough for me. So I'm used to doing these like 2, 3, 4 hour workouts, and like 1 hour, it's like it feels like what we would do for a warm up. And so I would wish I could do 2 Camp Gladiator camps back to back. But I mean, Camp Gladiator is great. It's a hard workout, and I love the atmosphere.
Well, we want to know, because you have a donation button. Can you tell people, it's our Facebook, gettingwellwithanbeal.com. I have a donate button there if you want to donate for Shelby. Or you can go to my Facebook, Getting Better with Ann Beal, or you can go to Shelby's Facebook. What's your Facebook?
My Facebook's just Shelby Vaughan.
Shelby Vaughan. And Shelby's staying here. She's going to co-host with me for Thomas, just saying, and he's going to talk to us about training, nutrition, dieting, and even it's all about the keto diet, but it's also going to cover the keto diet for regular people like me. And so if you want to know about how to have nutrition and diet with the keto, stay right here, and Shelby's going to co-host.
Do you want to look 10 years younger? At Total Med Solutions, we have solutions to help you look and feel great. Try our Botox special with 20 units for only $173, or replace your lip volume that you've lost over the years with a 1 milliliter syringe of Juvederm dermal filler for as little as $389.
Do you want to lose 10, 20, even 100 pounds? Ask the experts at Total Med Solutions, where they provide physician-supervised prescription weight loss solutions for as little as $199 for a 30-day program.
Are you tired of shaving? Come to Total Med Solutions, where you can get beach ready with laser hair removal starting at only $99 for 6 sessions. All laser hair procedures are done on the latest Almost Soprano ice machines that work great for all skin types.
Call Total Med Solutions at 972-992-5040 to schedule your appointment. Consultations are always free.
Just check it out. Again, that number is 972-992-5040.
Are you taking Viagra and tired of paying $50 per tablet? Marley Drug has generic Viagra for just $10 per tablet. $10 for generic Viagra is a savings of $40 per dose. Call now and get free shipping on 10 tablets or more of generic Viagra. Marley Drug is a North Carolina pharmacy licensed in all 50 states. For information, go to marleygenerics.com or call us at 800-515-3062. That's 800-515-3062.
In Charlotte, a revolution has begun.
Side by side at the start-finish line. Let's see who wants to blink.
It's the Bank of America Roval 400.
Kurt Busch, Clint Boyer, these two drivers are not giving up. Truex battles back, and he'll shut Boyer down. We've got a challenge for the lead. The 18 on the inside. McMurray tries to slam the door.
The Bank of America Roval 400 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Sunday, September 30th at 1 p.m.
Don't miss the Bank of America Roval 400 later today at 1 p.m. on 1160 a.m. KBDT.
I've got to admit, it's getting better. a little better all the time.
You're getting better all the time. Now back to Ann Beal on 1160 AM KBDT.
Welcome back, everyone. We have a nutritionist, peak performance trainer, Thomas Jusayan, joining Shelby and I. Shelby's still here as my co-host. Say
Yes,
hi.
I am. Hello, everybody.
She is the one that's going to ask the trainer kind of questions about keto, because he was telling me he was going to talk about both. And I thought, I have no idea how to ask you about keto when you're a top trainer. And so had Shelby stay to join me to do that. So Thomas actually owns Peak Performance in Saginaw, Texas.
Correct.
And that's north of Fort Worth, northwest of Fort Worth. Shelby is actually in Azle, Texas. So they're all kind of over there. So I introduced them so that they can get together. So Thomas, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really am excited to be here.
Thomas Jusayan, I'm gonna do it, Jusayan.
That's correct.
And so I know when I say it really fast, people are like, I don't understand what you're saying. So he is phenomenal when it comes to weight loss. I know you are as well for fitness and training, but what Dr. Tiller, who's one of my most favorite people, his name is Dwayne Tiller. He owns Sunshine Herbs. He talks about you all the time. And he's constantly saying, if you want to know about that, ask Thomas. So we have you on so that you can answer those questions about weight loss for us. Because the most frustrating thing for people is when you're working out and trying to lose weight, often it's like because you worked out that day,
Right.
Then you cheat. You can have trouble, right? Or you eat more.
Let's not use that word today. No
cheating, okay.
Don't use the word today.
And when you're training, you
Refeed.
carb load. What is it?
Refeed. Let's call it refeed.
Refeed is.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's more positive.
It is.
Yeah.
What's it mean exactly?
Well, basically, you're putting food back into your body, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of calling it a cheat, which is kind of more negative connotation to it, just call it a refeed.
I
You got
like
that one. We can get into that. Okay. When you're training, and I'm just like I run. I'm not like her. But when you're trying to lose weight and you're going to run in a race, like I think this weekend is the Azle Lake Run. Was that this week?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Well, so a lot of people would carb load the night before, right?
Right.
And you told me with keto, you don't do that, and you don't have to. So tell us about keto.
Sure.
And because a lot of people haven't heard of the keto diet. What is it?
So ketogenic diet is a very popular diet these days. I think a lot of people, I would say in the millions right now, are probably trying ketogenic diet. But believe it or not, it's not a new diet. This has been around since the 1900s, early 1900s, like 1920.
No.
So an endocrinologist actually was doing a research on this based on diabetes. So they found out that if you starve the liver from carbohydrate and basically calories, it would start to build up this ketone bodies, right? There's 3 main ketone bodies, and that would be the fuel for the body. So that started the whole premise of ketosis. So in 1923, another doctor from the Mayo Clinic then used that for kids who has epilepsy, because they found out that the trigger of sugar is actually causing them to have seizures. So it's been around for a very long time. This is not new. So anyone who thinks that they're inventing the wheel, they're not inventing the wheel, guys.
So they just gave it a name. They gave it a new name.
They just gave it popularity again,
Yeah.
right? Because people are losing weight, and we're always in that trend of a diet. That's why I really hate diet. I just feel like we should fuel our bodies based on what we want to do, based on how we perform and how our body responds to food, right? So to me, I don't like to consider a diet as your primary source. It should be like, let's look at health first. Let's look at how we can eat healthier versus get on a diet. But I have used ketogenic in many, many ways. I've used it for myself, because I wanted to be to have this amazing cognitive brain that's fueling me on a daily basis. So I want to have that thought process, that nonstop ideas in my head, and it's hard to do that when you're carb loaded.
Yeah,
You're half asleep all the time, right?
Yeah, that's been the hardest thing with me is while training is finding a diet where I'm not going to lose too much weight in such a short time, because I have to lose the weight as well as gain the muscle and keep the muscle that I already have. When I've noticed when I do diets, I start to lose that muscle and I'll feel weaker. And then, like you said, I'll be really tired. So I really haven't found that diet for me, and I haven't tried keto diet yet. So I'll probably be talking to you after the show about how we can stay connected. But yeah, my biggest thing is, as much as I'd like to lose weight really fast, it's not ideal for what I do.
Right. So,
which is why a lot of people that when they throw hammers or discus or any of that, they are stockier.
Yeah.
And I think that's the challenge, to be strong and be able to get the strength and the energy.
So let me take that idea out of this process, right? Strength has nothing to do with size. I showed this video and I actually posted this on my Facebook yesterday.
Which is?
It's powerlifting. And
what's your Facebook?
I just put it under my personal Facebook under Thomas Jusayan. And I didn't post it on my business page because I wanted my friends to see it.
Yeah.
So I'm about 150 pounds, maybe, walking around. So I'm not a big guy. So what I did was I posted a video of me powerlifting, putting 325 pounds on my back, squatting, right? So for me, the size in itself has nothing to do with strength. Strength is a process, and you have to train for that. So building the muscle is also a process. And believe it or not, ketones is one muscle sparing hormone that allows you to spare the muscle while you lose weight. So that's the reason why I use it for weight loss for competitors, like physique and bikini competitors at times in periods. But in order for us to get there, we have to go through the stages of this, ketogenic diet. So it is beneficial, but it has a lot of taboos because a lot of people are used to carb loading. So the reason why you lose muscle, on the other hand, and you're losing weight so fast is because you're calorically on a deficit, right? When your body is starving, the body will eat itself out, basically, and that's what you're doing. And so you lose muscle in that process, and that's not what you want to see. As a trainer and a nutritionist, the first thing I check is muscle. And so I use calipers, I use scales, and I try to check to see if you're able to maintain the muscle that you have while we're losing weight. If I start seeing muscle loss, then we start making adjustments.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I need too.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I thought the more that you helped me and talked to me about it, I thought, oh man, that would be cool for you, Shelby. That's what I was thinking. And so, but I wouldn't have even been able to explain it to you, so I didn't bother. And so for you, I know I'm trying keto right now.
All right.
And I have a lot of people tell me I'm doing keto, but it's funny that I've started craving, I've started having trouble and did great the first month and started having trouble. And what Thomas said to me was, are you getting too much protein or too much sugar? And I said, I guess too much protein. Right. I started telling you what I was doing, and you were like, and it's not paleo, it's keto. So what are the main things about keto so you can kind of tell them a little bit about it, like, butter, things like that. So
there's a lot of basis of keto, right? So in any diet, the first thing that I try to advise to people is follow the sun. This is called the follow the sun model, because the sun in itself generates fat and sugar in anything. So if you follow the sun, the first thing that it does is it actually puts light into plants, right? The same thing that the cows eat, that the chicken feeds off of, the pigs feed off of, is the same basis where they get their sugars from. So that generates the fat in their body. They're not really eating fat. If you notice, a cow who eats grass has fat. How is that possible?
Now they have 4 stomachs, so I do wonder.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, but that itself, they're eating that from the plant itself. So you start off with the foundation of follow the sun. So you go from the top down to the bottom, right? So the last thing that I would eat is what's been harvested out of that, like grains and beans and legumes and all those other things that we're eating as a carbohydrate, like bread.
So that's last.
That's
First
the very
is
last
plants.
Thing. First is
last
plants. Last is the carbs. So because of the fact that carbohydrate is technically a non-essential macro, we have 3 macronutrients, right? We have an essential protein, essential fat, and essential non-essential carbohydrate. So you don't necessarily
you just said that carbs are not essential.
It's non-essential.
So just letting everyone know that.
Technically, it's non-essential. So sugar in itself is non-essential.
You don't need it.
Exactly. That means the body can function without it.
Right.
I just
right?
think that's so crazy because in high school, my coaches always told me before games, track meets, make sure you carbo load. I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, you needed carbs, right?
Yeah.
And if you're saying the opposite.
And the reason why they do that, and there is a place for carbohydrate. The reason why they do that is because your body has 3 pathways to energy source. Now the old coaches are not nutritionists. They didn't study that. They're just coaches. They're kinesiology major. They know exercise, but they don't know anything about nutritional science. They know a lot about functional science, right? So there's 3 pathways to your energy source. The very first one is a creatine phosphate, which is already in your muscle. So if you have more muscle, you'll have more creatine phosphate. That's a quick energy source. The second one is more of an anaerobic, which is called a glycolytic path, which is where you pull carbohydrate from. That's the reason why they tell you to carb load, but your body only holds so much. Your liver only holds about 100 grams. Your body in itself, it depends on the size and how lean you are, can hold up to 500. But just imagine this is a continuous eating process that you do every day because you're not necessarily burning all that carb. So why would you need to load if you just ate yesterday?
So
right?
someone like me, because I don't do, I work out a little bit, right? Someone like me, I would put fats first, right? Isn't that the difference? Is you have fats and then you have proteins and then plants.
Right. So I would go with plants first.
Oh,
because that would be the order of the sun, right? Then I would look for my fat sources.
Oh, fat second.
Mainly
Plants,
going to be
fats.
from plant sources again. So we're talking about like your nuts and your seeds, your avocados, right? Before you even get to the oil sources, which is a compressed plant, right? Like olive oil and coconut oil. So I would go with the main sources first.
Which is why you say it's not paleo. So
That's
protein,
right.
and you can get proteins from eggs or nuts or things
Exactly.
like that. Okay.
And you can get fats from them too.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, see.
But they're the second source.
No
They're
wonder
the
I'm
one
having
who
trouble.
eats, right? Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
Not yet. I mean, everything's making complete sense to me.
Good.
Yeah. So for you, if you could see Thomas, I mean, we would all agree you are a buff. I mean, you took your jacket off and I went, yep, he's a trainer. You look like a trainer. Don't look like you have any fat, but a lot of muscle.
I have fat, believe it or not.
What is, so the eating plan with keto, do you use it a lot?
I use it in a variable way because there is what you call a classic ketogenic, which is what was used for therapeutic purposes back in the 1920s.
Mm-hmm.
And that is normally a 4-to-1 ratio, right? We're talking about a 90% fat intake there. Very, very little carb, less than 5% of your macronutrient on a daily basis, and 5% protein. So it's not enough protein. The reason why it's a little protein is because protein in itself has the branched chain aminos, those isoleucine, leucine, and valine. And leucine initiates and triggers a fasting response. So basically you're fasting and then you immediately will stop fasting. And keto is like a continuous fast. So the reason why is because fat doesn't initiate that insulin response.
That's why you are always in ketosis.
That's
Because
right.
you do say that a lot.
Exactly.
So your body, so it burns it better.
Exactly.
Amazing. How would people get a hold of you, Thomas?
They can get a hold of me through my website. They can go to peakperformancefitnesstexastx.com. There's a place there where you can send me a message, which I get most of the time. You can follow us on Facebook or Instagram at @peakperformance_fitness. That's another way to get a hold of me as well.
This is the thing. The reason the show is named Getting Better is I love to help people get better. So as long as you listen to this show, you're going to get better. And so we cover every area of life to get better. And this is one where Thomas can help Shelby get
You're
better.
helping me get
Yes,
better.
get better. And if you'd like to donate to Shelby again, you can go to Getting Better with Ann Beal's Facebook or gettingbetterwithanbeal.com. And tell us a few more of your needs right now, Shelby.
Well, mainly, I just want to say if you do donate, what it would be going towards. It would be getting on a better diet. So I will be talking to Thomas after this. My personal training, my commute to practice, because I travel an hour and a half there and then an hour and a half back. So it's a 3-hour commute. And then just small things after that. And when season starts, it'll be the travel, the meet entry fees. There's a lot of small fees included that just add up, and it's really hard when trying to train and trying to work at the same time when I'm working part-time. And I mean, part-time jobs don't really pay much.
No, and the donation goes through, and there's accountability, and it actually shows what she uses the money for. So if anybody ever wanted a report on that, we would have that. And so we just really encourage you to help Shelby. If you're thinking about keto and you want to know more, Thomas is willing to help, or you could go read more about it. Obviously, I was doing it wrong. And so I just thank everyone. We are going to come back in just a minute and finish up and let Thomas tell us some of the most important things about keto. So stay right here.
Have you written a book and want to get it published? Then call Page Publishing at 800-605-6995 immediately. That's 800-605-6995. Page Publishing is looking for authors of all types of books. And unlike most publishers, Page Publishing will take the time to review each and every book submitted to them and give you their feedback. If they like what they read, they'll get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, the Apple iTunes Store, Barnes & Noble, and other outlets. They handle everything: editing, cover design, copyright protection, printing, publicity, and distribution. So if you've written a novel, children's book, cookbook, inspirational work, poetry, or a biography and want to get it published, then you need to call Page Publishing and do it immediately. Call 800-605-6995 now for your free author submission kit. Again, for your free author submission kit, call 800-605-6995. That's 800-605-6995. Your road to fame and fortune could very well start with this simple phone call. Call Page Publishing at 800-605-6995 for your free author submission kit.
Want a great deal on a great car? Come to Central Auto House. Smart car buyers know that a quality pre-owned car can save you a lot of money. The industry leaders at Central Auto House all say, let someone else pay for the depreciation while you get a late model, low mileage vehicle to fit your taste and your needs. You'll find sports cars, SUVs, family sedans, trucks, and lots more. The Central Auto House team believes in fair prices and superior service. Check out their current inventory online at centralautohouse.com. That's Central Auto HA.
We've been fighting the war on drugs for a long time. We answer the phone 24/7. 365 days a year. On a busy night, we answer hundreds of calls. This war on drugs needs our intervention.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has helped people struggling with drugs and alcohol.
When the phone rings, we help people when they need it the most. When we get a caller into treatment, it feels good. It's a blessing.
If you're struggling, drinking, using, and need to get clean, don't suffer alone in silence. Call Addiction Hope and Helpline.
Our people understand, and many are also in recovery. Call for support and strength. You can call for someone who can't or isn't willing. It's an act of love. Together we can help you beat this thing and erase addiction from your vocabulary once and for all.
Call 800-854-1055, 800-854-1055, 800-854-1055.
To admit it's getting better, a little better all the time.
And now here's more Getting Better with Ann Beal on 1160 AM KBDT.
Back. Thomas, tell us more about keto, because we all want to lose weight and stay fit and trim, because you are strong, you're toned, and you are, I mean, even your skin, you know what I mean? You look so good. And I know a lot of that is from the fat. A lot of people that lose weight, their skin looks dull, their eyes look dull, you know what I mean?
Right.
They lose weight and they don't look as good. They don't look as happy, you know? I think that people who are overweight, often their skin is really glowing because they have a lot of fats. Okay,
Right.
when they're, you know, I mean, that's all I can say. And so they start losing weight. They cut out fat and they cut out cholesterol. They cut out, you know, they have egg whites, all that kind of stuff. And so then they start looking more, I don't know what the word is, maybe gaunt.
Yeah, like pale and kind of.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of times when you do go on a diet, when you lose the weight rapidly, you're actually losing collagen in that process, right? So your skin is not as elastic as it was before because fat carries a lot of collagen. So just like protein that you take in, you lose that. So I don't know if you know what the collagen looks like, but if you ever boil some bones in a crock pot, that little thing that floats on top
that
is
stuff.
collagen. And most of the time we filter that because we're like, ooh, what is that?
Yeah.
Well, that's that good stuff. That's the good stuff you want, right? Instead of throwing away. So yeah, so I always suggest to a lot of people or clients of mine to add collagen part of their protein so that when they do take it, it's not just, you're losing the weight and you're losing elasticity at the same time. You can actually keep and maintain that nice tight skin as you lose the weight. Now, if you add the fat to that process as well, then you're going to keep this nice refreshed look because again, fat is more refreshing than sugar.
It is. I
Right.
agree. Oh, you mean looking? I was thought
Looking,
you meant
yes.
tasting.
And tasting.
It's
And
so
tasting.
refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do know that as well. If they have the collagen, it helps their joints. Because when people are doing weight loss and they cut out the oils, they cut out fats, their joints start hurting.
Yes.
Their skin starts getting dry.
Exactly.
And so having the collagen and the fat helps their joints and everything perform better.
Right.
You had said something to Shelby and I about the fat burning better than the carbs. So you actually have more energy when you're doing keto.
Yes, you have a longer lasting energy in the ketogenic diet or a high fat, lower carb diet if you have trained your body to pull from a fat fuel versus carb fuel because of the fact of the caloric density of fat. So you're talking about 9 calories per gram versus 4 calories per gram.
Right.
And it's more essential to the body. So the body knows exactly what to do with fat, right? Versus a carbohydrate, where it's a very quick hike of sugar, and then it loses its basically its effectiveness.
And it's got to be harder on your body because it does cause insulin, right? It causes
Correct.
that glucogen. So it is harder because you got that blood, that sugar
That rush.
effect, that
Yes.
rush. And so that can't be good for you. But I do know for me, I feel so much better on the keto and I'm more clear. I even my mind is more clear.
Right.
I can't really explain it. And it's something that if you want to experience it, you can learn about the diet, print it out, find out things about it. Where would be a good place for them to go just to get a sample?
So they can find a lot of resources online for this. I know some of the famous doctors online now, like Dr. Axe and Dr. Berg. I know you guys know about them.
I love
Dr.
them.
Mercola. They have turned their practice into more of a higher fat. There's another guy, Dr. Stephen Gundry, who's doing the Plant Paradox, which is very popular for the celebrities these days. They're actually, even though he mentioned something about avoiding certain foods because of lectins, he's still advocating a higher fat diet.
Okay, so I love that. YouTube is so much fun. You can go learn so much, and all of those doctors are on YouTube.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
they do educate you very simply. And I know Dr. Berg does that
Yes.
with keto quite a bit, and he updates you. And do you have anything like that?
No, I
You
don't.
need to
Not
do
yet,
that because
not
you're so
yet.
good,
I'm
right?
thinking
Yeah,
about it, but
yeah.
not yet.
And so, and Dr. Mercola, all of them have included that fat and the importance of it. I don't think anyone is back in the old, data anymore. And so coming up with the new research and everything, I think that everything is going back, right? Everybody's
Exactly.
going back to our grandparents, great grandparents, and realizing all of those things they did. They lived longer than we do, right?
Exactly.
And this is supposed to be the first generation, as Dr. Wallach
Yeah.
said on our first show for this, the first generation that doesn't live as long as their parents.
Yes.
And so
That's kind of sad,
because
right?
we adopted all this dumb stuff that they told us was great. So going back to butter and cream and cheese and things like that. So we just encourage you, check out keto, definitely. And then stay up and check out Thomas's Facebook and website, peakperformancefitness.com. And his Facebook, Thomas Jusayan, and your Facebook, Peak Performance Fitness.
Performance Fitness,
I've
correct.
seen all those. Shelby has a Facebook, Shelby Vaughan.
Yeah, just Shelby Vaughan.
And help her out. We're going to be sharing once a month or whenever a need comes up, which she's training. We're going to have her on to talk about where she is in her training. When do you actually find out as far as to start? Like, do you go through Olympic trials? Okay, because I know I'm out of my element here. Is it Olympic trials you start, or how do you find out?
Yeah, so it's a month before the actual Olympics. It's the Olympic trials. It's one track meet. You have to make it into that track meet and then place top 3 with the Olympic A standard. So the Olympics will be usually in August, so we'll try out into June, early July.
Okay, we'll keep you updated until then. In the meantime, if you'd like to get a hold of me, you can go to my Facebook, my website. If you'd like to come to our clinic, Life Solutions Coaching and Counseling, you can look that up online, LifeSolutionsCoachingCounseling.com, or call our office, 817-232-1363. I have enjoyed immensely having you guys here and helping everyone get better. Let's get better together. And you guys, see you here next week. I'm going to have Dr. Jim Slaughter on for anger and stress. He's an anger and stress specialist, and with all the political craziness going on, a lot of people are getting angry and stressed out. I had somebody up last night that called me. We want you guys to have the skills to know how to handle that. So be here next week, and until then, take care.
Awesome.